Hey everybody, I'm Madalyn Sklar. Welcome to the Social ROI After Chat. Boy, did we have a great chat today. I'm here with the amazing Mireille Ryan. Did I say that right? Did I get it?
You did.
I am so thrilled to have you here today with us. You were just incredible with your insights, talking today about building your tribe on social media. It's one of my favorite topics, and I was just really wowed by everything you were telling us. Before we dive in, can you tell everybody a little bit about you and your background and how you got to where you are today?
Absolutely. For me, social media was a way that I could promote my fitness business. So I had a big fitness business in Australia that when I got started, there was just me as a mum starting a fitness business, and I had to look at ways that I could get my message out there in the world and do it in a most cost-effective way. And so I got into particularly Facebook and used it as a way to be able to connect with people, not just in my local area, which is where I was initially headed, but people all over the world. And it was just amazing how I could just build these awesome relationships and be able to get my message out there. And what started as a necessity for business grew into an absolute passion. And to a point where I was able to grow my business around my country. I was able to, get out there on the internet, and, some of my videos have been seen by 250,000 people, me doing fitness exercises and things. And I'm just the power of being able to, open a business in a new city, never have been to that city, and with $85 worth of ads, in 2 days bring in $15,000 worth of revenue.
Wow.
And I just fell in love with social media. And so people started asking me, wow, you're building this great tribe of people, you're building this great following. Can you help me? And I just started doing it to help my friends and gaining momentum. And I got to a point in the fitness industry, I was named Australian Exercise Professional of the Year. And I sort of reached that pinnacle for me in that space and was looking for a new challenge. And that's where I started my transition across into social media and have just absolutely loved every minute of it.
That's a great story. Thank you for sharing that. When you were first venturing into social media, which platform were you most attracted to?
Well, initially I was pretty much on Facebook, and the reason was it was a way that I could connect very quickly and easily, and it was a place where I guess business traditionally was headed at that time. I got onto Twitter fairly early and must admit I was there for a year or two and just couldn't quite connect with Twitter. And so I started building this following, and then I just couldn't quite get it in my head how to really harness the power. So I'm out from Twitter, which is not great from a tribe perspective, but I did take a little bit of time out and then found that passion again for Twitter. And then Twitter's just been great. And LinkedIn for me, LinkedIn is huge for me. Being able to connect, especially in the B2B space, I just get so much business out of LinkedIn. It's amazing.
That is really great. I would love to hear how you're harnessing LinkedIn, because you hear about how people are utilizing Twitter and Facebook. Facebook is doing Facebook ads. Twitter, when it comes to community, you hear a lot about Twitter chats, like what we just did. Such a great way to be part of a community. How are you doing this on LinkedIn?
Well, LinkedIn, again, it was starting to look at those people who I could connect and build relationships with. And over the last, probably 5 years, I built up to 16,000 connections on LinkedIn. And the way I use LinkedIn is I look for people who I believe either, but more than I can help them. I look at ways that I can say, well, I've got what they need. And then I reach out and I try and help them. And by helping them create value and also include great content on LinkedIn, then people naturally want to connect with you. And, there's been times where I've opened my inbox and there's been an invitation to go and have breakfast with the Lord Mayor of, Brisbane, who's, in the local area to me. And from that was able to lead on to speaking at big forums and speaking. I was hired by the Lord Mayor to, he's in charge of the whole of the Brisbane area, a whole big city. And he invited me to come and teach him and his team how to use social media. And that was just out of me engaging on LinkedIn, being present, helping people with their questions and not asking for anything. And it came naturally to me, which is such a blessing.
Well, what I hear you saying is what I see in so many leaders in your position. You're being a giver. You're just out there just sharing information, being helpful, and things come back because of that. I think that's where so many people are just more about what's in it for me instead of, you and I are type of people like, what can I do to just help people? It's not what's in it for me. It's what's in it for them. It's just, I think sometimes people need to flip that switch, right? To get to that other side.
Absolutely. And I'm a big connector. I love connecting people. It brings me great joy to be able to see somebody who's in need of something. And then I go, oh, this person is going to be somebody who would be perfect to be able to help you. And so connecting, I love doing that through social media. I do it in person too. I'm just one of those connectors that when I go to somewhere, I'm always looking at how I can connect people. And social media is a perfect place to be able to do that as well. So, and like you said, the more you give, the more you care, people are more likely to listen to you when they know how much you care. And so you need to care first. A lot of people start by being the expert first or, always trying to take. But if people know how much you care, it's always about, it's about, they will then be more open to the message that you have anyway.
So true. And Jim Katzeman is here. Leadership in large part is paying it forward. So incredibly true.
Absolutely.
Hello to everybody that's here live with us, and a shout out to everybody watching the live stream. I love these conversations after the Twitter chat because it's such a great way for everybody to get to see our guest interact. So feel free for those that are here live to ask a question if you have one, so that we can have you answer that. What do you think about Twitter chats? You are great, so you seem like you have a lot of experience with that.
To be honest, I don't.
Really?
For me, it's something that I've been, it's something that I've just come across of recent. And I know that they've been around. It's just something that I haven't, to be honest, really engaged with. And I love the dynamics of a Twitter chat. I love the fast-paced nature of it. But I love how everybody, even though I know it was a bit of a dialogue between, the two of us, I loved that everybody was able to share their knowledge as well. I learned so much out of it too. I loved seeing everybody's comments, and it just adds so much richness to the conversation.
So it really does. That's what I love about Twitter chats is that, everybody can be part of the conversation so we can all learn from each other. But you were just bringing in so much value and so much insight when it comes to community building. Now, how long have you been immersed in social media doing this? How long did you say you've been doing it?
Well, I've been on social media for quite a while. So I was a fairly early adopter on social media. But for me, really loving and really spending my whole time immersed in social media, it's probably been the last couple of years where I've actually come across, the Social Media Marketing Institute, that's something that I've basically put together because I wanted to help people to be able to really understand the value in social media. Because when I would go and speak with big corporations, some of them absolutely nailed it and they totally understood, but I found some of them were still fairly slow to the party and didn't understand the connection between social media and ROI. So it was a part for me to create that to help people to be able to understand that connection and be able to really get the value out of social media.
Now, how do you feel about live streaming? Do you feel like this is like the place that everybody should be to be part of communities and building communities? What's your take on that?
I love live streaming. I have Facebook groups that I do live streaming into on a weekly basis. And it's such an awesome thing. I'm actually just about to start live streaming to my general audience. And I think really it is where you can engage and interact in such a way where people can see you, they can hear you, and you can engage with them. And I think it's something that if businesses are not engaged in this kind of live streaming, they really need to get on board. There's so many different ways you can use live streaming. Real estate agents can use it to go around and show the homes that they're showing, and engage with the audience as they're connecting and showing them the rooms and answering questions. you can show products. But the best thing is about building relationships, because you need to get to know people. That's what social media is all about. People forget that social media, it's social. It's about getting to know people and building that relationship.
So true. If somebody's watching this and they're like, I'm good at connecting people, in my neighborhood, in my city, my local area, but they haven't really tried to do that on social media, how should they approach it? How should they start?
Well, if there's somebody who is in a particular niche, start a Facebook group that is specific for that particular area that they're an expert or that they have that connections in. Or if you're in a local area, you could start a group for your local area. I see a lot of groups where they're suburb based. And so they basically just get everyone in within the suburb and they just are looking at how they can help each other. And a community that helps each other is a stronger community, and a community that can help everybody to succeed.
That's so well said. I just love this. I could just sit here all day listening to you talk about this. We're so much alike. I've been doing community building since 1996 on the internet. So we're both like those early adopters when it comes to this. How can people best get in touch with you if they want to reach out to you online?
Well, I think Twitter's obviously an awesome place to connect. So my hashtag @Mireille Ryan. You'll probably have to put that up there because it's not an easy name to spell. Mireille. That's a great way. I love connecting through Twitter because it's just so quick and easy to connect. So that's otherwise, I've got my MireilleRyan.com, which is another great way. And I also do a lot of connection through LinkedIn. So again, LinkedIn, a great place. I love connecting to people through LinkedIn.
That's awesome. And that's good to know. I'm gonna definitely connect with you on LinkedIn and start watching what you're doing over there. LinkedIn is one of those ones that I used to use, but then I kind of stopped. I've really focused on Twitter. I do all social media, but I really focus on Twitter. But there is a lot of value in LinkedIn for sure, and I definitely want to see what all you're doing and how I can learn from that. So thank you so much for spending time with us. Really appreciate this. Has just been a wealth of information, and we'll definitely see you out on Twitter, and definitely come back on the chat anytime and come be a part of it. We would love to have you come chat with us anytime.
I would love to. And yeah, absolutely. We'll be there next week.
Awesome. Oh, that would be so great. All right. Yeah, we'd love for you. Like some of our guests sometimes become regulars, which is so great. So do feel free. Thank you for everybody watching. We really appreciate you all. And we'll be back next week with another great chat. Until next time, we'll see you around. Take care. Bye. Okay.